So the first thing you should know is it's really normal to not have any idea what the future is going to look like. You have had your child for however long you've had him or her, and your world, and as the child got sick and then sicker, your world really revolved around that child. So it becomes very hard to imagine that you're not going to be caring for that child and that that child's not going to be in your world. And for some people, actually anticipating there's some relief that comes with not having your child, the kind of caregiving, the kind of worry, the kind of anxiety that occurred, that's sometimes very hard for families to hear, or they know it, but it's hard for them to express that. I think that sometimes you don't know until you're living it, that it is hard to imagine your world without your child. And then your world just happens and life continues. Doesn't mean it isn't enormously painful or very hard, but it actually occurs.
Being in that place of acceptance, and that I could seriously visualize myself just being like, okay. But then obviously, like, when she stops breathing, I lose it. And then I start thinking, oh my God, like, what am I going to do without her? Like, how am I going to get up and look at that bed the next day, or that chair sitting over here, or all her clothes, that are around, but I won't know until I'm in it, I guess.
Since he died, I've had a weird, guilty, I say to my friends sometimes, I like my freedom right now, and I feel guilty about it. I do. It's a weird place to be.
Believe me, I know exactly how you feel.
In it, I was so wrapped up in this life and so involved with so many amazing organizations and support systems, that letting go of that, because I no longer have a child with disabilities and no longer have a child in treatment, was a huge fear. I had no relief from that, from the thoughts of, okay, one day I won't have to live this life anymore. One day I won't have to be in the hospital. I won't have to be carting a wheelchair around. I can go to the grocery store by myself. Like, that scared me because it was 100% of my identity at that point.
And people get up in the morning, or the other children go to school, and events in the world occur, and people do very mundane things like eat or do their laundry, and suddenly you realize that you are in fact living without your child.